Again, not having the mic up. Heyo. So, what I was saying for 5 seconds. There we go. Always got to get the monitor situated. That's how we start Twitch streams in this, I was going to say household, but I guess this is a building. It's not really a household. Anyway, getting started here. As the title says, going to look at some Azure Functions today. Also going to take a look at the docs that I've been looking at to do these Azure Functions, and also planning on getting into some back-end. I'm just going to recreate what I had done for this and hopefully get this stuff wired together today a little bit more, and then going to have an official stream tomorrow on the Hasura HQ channel, which should be pretty cool. So with that said, with that said, yeah. Oh, there's one thing, just my face in the way. Nope. Oh, it's been too long. There we go. There we go. So this is what I've been going through, and this is what I did a tweet thread on yesterday, or well, the weekend, whatever. Yesterday, the weekend. I blame my parents for that. They always said anything in the past is always just yesterday, and I guess in many ways it often just doesn't matter. It can be yesterday. But anyway, so I had dove into this quick start, create a Go or Rust function in Azure using Visual Studio Code. I had actually hoped to follow this command line path here, but as you can see, C#, Java, JavaScript, PowerShell, Python, TypeScript. No Go, no Rust. So I didn't go that path. I went this path, which is in Visual Studio Code. Now I assume there's some way to get this to work, and I'm gonna try to dig into that and get that figured out today. But right now, this is where I'm at. I've been using the Visual Studio Code plugin here, which again is in that tweet thread thing. You create a little project here, and then use this little update button right here or not update, upload, deploy, whatever they call it. And I basically use this code here as the default trigger, and I got that to work via the function. So that all that is in that Twitter thread out yonder. I'll just show you real quick, just for there's a reference, so that there is a reference in this here har video. Let's see here, I've tweeted 8 million times. Here we go. So this is the thread. It starts right. Oh God, it's long. It's a good one though. It was fun, and the audience got to pick which thing I was going to deploy with, which is why I picked Go. I picked what the audience wanted. So there in chat is the link if you want it. If you need the link later, I'll post it again. Anyway, asking a bunch of other nonsense in there. So I got the app all configured. A lot of this stuff like this is kind of generated for the most part when you create the project. I ran the function locally, which is interesting because you do func start and it uses the Azure Functions core tools to start that, right? And then it starts it up and you can navigate out here, pending you don't have a naming conflict like I did. I messed that up and then I fixed it. Again, that's in the tweet thread. You know, I'll probably just write that whole tweet thread up as a blog entry. And anyway, got it started, signed into Azure like this with the plugin, okay? Then compiled the plugin like this, okay? And did a deploy. Now, as it says here, important, the advanced option lets you choose a specific operating system on which your function app runs in Azure, which in this case is Linux. And that's really important because I didn't initially do that. I used the short version of that and did a deploy, and that messed things up because, of course, I deployed the function to run against the Windows OS, which won't run this since I built the Go function here for Linux. See right here in this command line bit, that's what it's built for. So anyway, I flipped it around. I went through the advanced function, which is, so you got to pick it right here when you start this. So if you're in Visual Studio Code, you hit the button, Then the wizard is done through the Select Functions app in Azure tab up at the top of the screen of the IDE. That's all cool. Got it deployed. I was able to pick Linux that time, and it ran perfectly. So, however, that comes full circle around to a bit of a problem that I have with just using the plugin. One, this is not automatable at all. Like, I can't automate the plugin. At least I don't know of an easy way to do that. Maybe there's some magic API for the plugin, but as far as I'm concerned, there's not. And then there's the execute function now option, another thing that's not particularly automatable. So like I need to figure out a way to automate this through some type of CLI interface or something to do this stuff, right? And this is it showing it in Azure, blah, blah, blah. Using JavaScript, command line, create a TypeScript function in command. So let's go and look at the command line stuff. Let's look at let's look at JavaScript. Okay, so it says create an account, download the tools just like before, get the CLI. Oh, it says you need a PowerShell version. That's maybe a problem because I don't want to use PowerShell just to do this. I just want to write some basic like bash or whatever. So, okay, it says Azure CLI or Azure PowerShell. Maybe this is for both. In the terminal or command window, do func version. Let's actually act like I'm going to open up the terminal, and we'll act like we have this set up for us, right? Like it's there we go. Okay, here's the projects. Which one is it? I forget. Oh yeah, function cycling is my project. And then what's in here? This is what I got so far. So I got the handler, local settings, proxies, host.json, the handler executable, which is handler right there. And like if I type func start, that'll start up the service locally. Oh, but now something else broke. Oh, that's because since it's not going to run this because I've made it run for Linux. So what I need to do is go build handler.go, and that'll rebuild it for the local machine. Because remember I said I built it using the Linux OS to deploy it to Azure, and it deploys the local executable out to the cloud for the function, for the Azure function. But now, let's see, I built it locally, so now I should be able to do func start. And okay, yeah, see, that got rid of that. So this is just, it broke because it was trying to run on Linux. So now it's sitting there waiting for me to do stuff. And if I type localhost, oh, I don't even remember, what is it? Oh yeah, I fixed this, so this should be correct. Let's do that. And then I forget, let's see, I think it's name equals, let's put my name. There we are, hello world, hello Adrian. So that works. So we know the function is still working. It's all great. So I'm going to kill that with a Control C. And then we're going to go and follow their instructions in the terminal or command window, run func version. So we have 3.0.37 whatevers. To check Azure Function Core Tools, our version 3.x. Yeah, okay, so we're 3.x. Then Azure AZ version needs to be 2.4 or later. We're on 2.0. Whoa. It needs to be 2.4 and we're on 2.28. But it's what? Yeah, it says we need to be on 2.4 or later right here. But then this reports .28 core. Telemetry is 1.0.6. And I know I have an Azure subscription, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. So if I do AZ login, it bounces me over here, and I'm going to log in over on that other screen. There we go. So then we get all that stuff. And okay, so I still don't know about this. The AZ version is 2.28. So let's do this. Let's do AZ update Azure CLI. Let's just see if we can maybe do a force update. So it is AZ upgrade. You already have the latest. But I don't. But I do? Am I reading it wrong? Am I being dyslexic or something? Does it not say... That says 2.4, right? Like I'm seeing it right. 2.4 versus 2.28. I don't know. Maybe this is a typo or something. Anyway, we're going to keep going and see if we can figure this out. So it says func init local func project JavaScript cd blah 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 func new blah 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 blah. Optional. Examine the file contents. Run the function locally. Okay, I did that. Creating supporting Azure resources for your function. Okay, let's manually do these just to see. So this is Azure Functions Quick Start. Let's bring up code. Take a look at this. So it says region. It says, do I just do US West? Host. I forget. I thought I had that in here somewhere, so I'm just looking real quick. Does it literally not show it in here? Func watch, func. Oh, there's func. No, host start, func watch. Never extensions. Okay, I don't know where that is then. Let's take this as notes. How to get this deployed via the CLI. Is that not? Oh, whatever. Well, let's. I'm just gonna do this. I think it might work. And actually, you know what? There we go. So let's try this again. Okay, so how do I get US locations? Ah, there we go. AZ account list locations. Ah, I need to use JQ to clean this list up, but we're here. So Switzerland, Norway, Osaka, Victoria, Australia, South Africa, West Central US, East US 2, Wyoming, Southeast Asia, East Asia, United States. What? There's one that's just United States. Okay. One just United Kingdom. Oh, I guess you could just do it by country or something. I don't know what that is there. Anyway. Well, actually, I'm gonna try that out. Display name. Let's just do this. Oh, did I just close my terminal? Of course I did, because. I'm real curious what if that works. But oh, okay. Well, let's do West US 2 then. And why is my oh, there we go. Okay, so that's the resource group. And then we got to create a general purpose storage account in your resource group and region. Okay, let's put that in a code file. And that looks good. That can be great because I think that's what we just did it. We'll put this in as, what did I just put? US West 2. Whoops. US West 2. Storage name. Azure Go function. What? So how about, oh, now it's West US 2? You gotta be kidding me. That's didn't, oh, I gotta look. I gotta check that. So that's what's creating. That's the main thing, right? Whatever my pedantic nature of understanding or remembering what the location was. And we got all the stuff. Okay, cool. Access tier, hot. Basic, okay. So that's there. Okay, so that's the storage account. All right, we have the resource group now, the storage account. Create the function app in Azure. Oh, this is where it's going to get tricky. So what's this look like? So storage name is now Azure Go function. No, the app name. Okay. Cycling function CLI deployed. Runtime is not node. So, okay. We got to figure that out. So how do you do... Azure function deploy CLI Golang. Set runtime to Golang. Whoops. How did they do this? Let's see here. Runtime. Oh, they did it in the thing. Right. So did they put in? Well, yeah, custom. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Set runtime Golang. CS50 done. Happy Programmers Day. Hey, Audrey 31. Welcome to the stream, and thanks. Happy Programmers Day to you too. How goes it? Oh, did I just dyslexic your name? Is it Aubrey? B D. Oh God. Yeah, Aubrey. It's one of those days where my eyeballs just keep flipping everything around. All right, so that Still, I like to get it right. I like to think that I can read. But clearly, I failed miserably at that moment to be able to do that. Okay, so can I just put Golang here? If I just guess, do you think that'll work? Oh, and consumption plan location. Dear God. Where, what? Okay, this is one of those things, like where, let's do this, Azure, AZ, CLI, function app, right, consumption plan hosting. When you're using the consumption plan, instances, Azure function hosts are dynamically added and removed based on the number of incoming events. The consumption plan is the fully serverless hosting option for, okay, consumption plan scales automatically, yep, okay, billing, yep. It's based on the number of executions, execution time, memory used, usage is aggregated across functions with the function app. Create a consumption plan function app. When you create a function app in the Azure Portal, I didn't do that, but I probably need to read it, right? Use the following links to learn how to create serverless function app in a consumption plan. Right, so what? This is one of the things that kind of bugs me. Like, can I just do, so this is AZ group, then AZ storage, this is AZ function app, consumption plan location. Like, how can I get a list? See, the consumption plan, right? So the best practice for Azure Functions, hosting options, event. Azure Functions, get consumption plan list. No, I want to know what to put here. Here we go. So this, there we go. Consumption locations. Is that what it is? Yeah, consumption plan location. Yes. Okay. So that's actually not that hard. AZ function app list consumption locations. See, that's where one of those things happens where, okay, like I kind of know that the command structure goes like AZ and then domain and then action, right? So like you say AZ function or AZ storage or AZ whatever the service is, then you state an action to do based on that. But like in the command that I'm putting together over here, this is one of my little pet peeves that I find a lot in Azure, is naming is just slightly skewed in a slightly broken way. So it says consumption plan location, right? So consumption plan location. If I go over here to the CLI and we look at what I just wrote, it says list consumption locations. So not consumption plan locations, just consumption locations. So like I wouldn't have been able to just auto navigate my way to that, right? I'd have been like, I'd have to do something like this to even see. And then, oh, it's not in the help either. So like how would I find this? You know, how would I find this thing, this list, right? Besides looking up in the docs. Like, is there a way to look in the CLI doc itself to get that figured out? I don't really know. If anybody is super familiar with the Azure CLI, I would love tidbits on how to look that up. Because, yeah, it says function app, then list consumption locations. Oh, there it is. Actually, I missed it. So it says it here. So that's what you have to do. You have to do like, you know, you say AZ help. So that tells you the stuff at the AZ level thing. But we know we have a function app, so then we can do help there. and then we can get the various commands. So there's my command that I wanted. And that sort of gets that figured out. So there's our list, right? We have West US 3, UK West US 2. Okay, so let's go back over to code, and we'll put that in as our region, right? And I think I'm just gonna runtime, and then the version. Yeah, how do we, let's see how we list. Maybe we can do function app help. Does it show? Maybe if I just do function app help, runtime help. No, that's not. Yeah, so how do I get the list of runtimes? I guess I'll go back over here. Let's go back over here to Chrome and type in AZ CLI Azure runtime. Oh wait, function. Let's do function app runtime, and then we'll do runtime version. How to target Azure Functions runtime versions. AZ function app runtime versions overview. Let's do one without versions. Let's get all the whole word in there. Okay, so I think that's what I just opened up. So let's look at that. How to target Azure Functions runtime. Okay, there's a few major versions of this. Automatic and manual version updates. Oh, that's not particularly what I was after. Oh, I wonder if, okay, this is runtime. Ah, here we go. So this is going to show the things. Oh, no. What the heck? Custom. Oh, it'll be custom. That's what it would be. So let's do custom. And then, oh, dear. What do we set for runtime version? Functions version 3. We do want that, right? So let's bounce over here. Let's see if we can run that. Plan, location. I wonder what that'll even do. Well, whatever the case, let's get into the portal. Boop. There we go, portal. Sure, whatever that is. That crazy wild link. Yes. There's the. That's the resource. Wait, this. Yeah, this is the one we just created. That's the one I created yesterday. Oh, and we want to look at that though because it's got bits from yesterday that we actually want to look at. So Azure Go function. That's the storage account. So there ain't a function in there, but oh, wait. Oh, something happened. This looks positive. Was created for this function. You can visit blah, blah, blah. Overview to view the application insights page. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, I bet that's where we're at. You think that's where we're at? Yeah, see, there it is. Okay, so it deployed it. Whew, hell yeah. Oh, and there's the insight. So I bet this is actually what that link is. So nothing specific going on, obviously, right? Because we didn't really do, we haven't done anything with it. We haven't even uploaded the actual function. So, and this is the deployed bit. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's see here. All right. Oh, and then West US 2 plan. Is that the subscription? Is that how I'm paying for it? I guess. Yeah, okay, that seems to make sense. All right, so we have the resource group. We have the storage in here, right? We have the app insights. We have the function app. And we have the app service plan. So that seems like a bunch of the kind of default stuff there. And let's put this in code the way we just ran it. Oh, that's not how we just ran it. Oh, that's what we just ran. So then we ran this. Okay, it sent us to the blah 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 page. Okay. So and then let's bounce over here. Let's I'm gonna look at the other one that I did yesterday though. So the function is not there. Let's do this. Here's Visual Studio Code. This is yesterday's. This is the code that I want to deploy to the new location for the one that I'm manually deploying via the CLI. But this is also what I deployed yesterday, or the one via the Twitter thread, using the button here, which is it this button? Yeah. So I clicked here and then this, I think. Yeah. So create advanced. I'm gonna put not cleaned up. Yeah, okay. And this is gonna be a custom handler. It's gonna be on Linux. Oh, I didn't designate the OS on that other one that I just launched anywhere that I remember. That could be a problem. But anyway, let's do this. Let's do a. Oh yeah, let's put it in this resource group. West US2. So this is again. This is where this is a little frustrating. So I keep putting this in West US2 or US West 2, and like the words keep getting fumbled around. I don't know how I feel about that. So we're gonna do consumption plan. Only storage count and the rest of your thing. Azure Go function. That's the one I just deployed. This is the one I deployed yesterday, so I'm going to use it. The function cycling Azure storage, and then I'm going to use this function cycling Azure here, and not the cycling function CLI deployed. All right, so that's deploying that though. And while that's deploying, let's go back and look at the docs and go to, ow, I think I just broke my ankle. So we did that. We figured out the runtime, I think. That we did. We figured out the consumption plan. Create the function app in Azure. So that's what we just did. So deploy the function project to Azure. Right, so that's what we need to do now. Wait a second. So after you've successfully created the function app in Azure, you're now ready to deploy your local functions project by using the func Azure function app publish command. In the following example, replace app name with the name of your app. Well, right, and we probably need to do a couple other things too. Like we'll need to do this, but we'll do this new go cycling function. But also okay, before I continue down this path, let's take a look at what all we got here. So this is the new one that I've been manually deploying. This is the older one that should have, if I refresh, yep, there it is. So that is what code just deployed. So if we go in and look here, yep, looks like it's just deployed. There's that stuff. But then a cycling function, it should be called service. Okay, whatever. Code and test. So that's just that monitor. Not cleaned up. Okay. So there's the service plan. There's the insights. Storage account. Not cleaned up. Okay. But I just thought before I had gotten the like a path. Oh wait, I did it here. So wasn't there a local? Well, this is out here. So this is Azure 2, but it's just viewed via the plugin here in Visual Studio Code, which is really nice. Let's go in here. This is the newer one, the Azure Functions Quick Start. This is the older one that I just deployed via Visual Studio Code 2. So if I right click here, and then, is it not? View properties, open in Portal. Oh, so here it's, there we go. So this is the one I just deployed. This is the one that I manually deployed via the CLI. This is code. So if I right click here and then click on, where's execute, deploy to app, function app, configure. Oh, is this it? There we go. So this is what I was looking for. The execute function now command will execute with Azure in the CLI. So that runs. That's taken way too long. That's worrisome. Why are you taking so long? What has happened? I probably should have started the logs before I did anything else. Live metrics. It's connected to your app, ready in some seconds. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, and it looks like it quit trying. Execute function again. Sure, and then let's do, put my name in there this time. So far it looks like nothing. $500 megs of memory, up to a gig. I wonder how I could tell. I wonder if I just deployed it again and it's not deployed to, let's do this. Let's, oh, it says, okay, it says it's Linux. I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that either. Let's go back over here and try to get a look at this. Where can you go in here and see the OS level or the OS type? Yeah, operating system Linux. So it is Linux. Oh, I didn't rebuild it. I didn't rebuild it from yesterday. So let's do that real quick. Terminal, clear. Oh, what is the, let's just look it up real quick. Just open that up in another tab. And then that build was right down func start. There's the build. So we just do goose Linux go OS. I get it. But anyway, goose and garch. There we go. Goose and garch. Let's build that sucker. Okay, and then let's redeploy it. I wonder if I can just do, can I just redeploy it? Yeah, it's functioning app. She wanted to do this. Will overwrite any previous deployments. Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. So nuke it. Put it up there with the new bits. Look at the output window. All right, so start deployment, create a zip package, upload a zip package, storage container, zip guys. 3.26 megabytes. Wow. How big is my executable? Doesn't even do anything. Not bad compression though, I guess. At least 50%. 6.1 megabytes. Okay, so I guess that is a little bit bigger than I thought it was. All right, come on thing. Syncing triggers deployment successful, triggering. Okay, I was about to say it's taking a long time, but there it is. Oh, and that's what I was looking for, the cycling function. This is what I got. This is what I got yesterday, right? So then I could, what is it? Command click so that it just comes up in the browser like this, and then I can go up here. I can do the ampersand name equals blah, and well, I guess I didn't need quotes. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, nothing there. Okay. Well, let's try to execute it again. So we want to do this, and then this. All right, that should deploy it. I mean, that should execute it. But again, it's not working now. So that's, yeah, this is the same mess that I was dealing with yesterday. Oh, man. So let's do... deploy to function app. What does that do? Yeah, so just do that again, I guess. That is what I did, right? So actually, let's see here. Let's remove the handler executable. Then let's do the build. That way I just make sure 100% that that's the one going up and not some like weird cache thing or some magic whatever. Let's see here. If I do that versus that, it's doing the same thing as what I just did. Where right clicked and hit deploy to function app. The other one was not deploy to function app. Okay. Stream logs, upload settings, blah blah blah. Stream logs. Let's upload set. Let's look at upload settings. What does that bring? Does it bring up something? Oh, it's just this. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's try it again for the gazillionth time. So it says it's up and running on Linux, West US 2, and it says running, of course. Resource group, functions, what is this? Millibytes a milliseconds? Megabytes a milliseconds? What the heck? That's a lot of megabytes a millisecond. Anyway, let's look at functions. Go in here and look at this puppy. All right, pay as you go, functions app. What does this say here? It should say that, yeah, okay, that I need to change. So we'll have to figure that out because this should have said the OS probably. Because I know the Linux one works here, but all right, what the hell's the deal? Anybody got any ideas here? That's interesting. It sticks me back out here. Anyway, blah. I feel like I need some Waffle House. Just thinking. Let's do this while I'm thinking. So I'm not really positive what my next tactic here should be. Because this is clearly not, it's not running. Open in Portal, browse website. What's that do? Oh, that sends me to this bit, which don't really care about right now. But let's hear functions, cycling function, disable function, start streaming. Let's do start streaming logs again. That's gonna pop it over here. Crap, tab, okay. And then let's do a execute function now. And we'll just leave Azure in it. Executing function, cycling response. Oh, there it is. I can't, can I see it? Can I please see it? Oh, I did that. I passed that. That got passed in it. Well, it says it worked. So can I... All right, gonna open up Postman again. Where shall it open? Will it open on the right window? Oh no, it opened on the other one, so. And there we go. Whoops. Yeah, something went wrong. You closed on me. All right. Let's get the URL. Well, no, this, and I got copy function URL. Cycling function should be the same. Yep, okay. Okay, so it's working. It's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working a minute ago. That's highly frustrating, but okay. It's working. Something was amiss. What was amiss though? Oh, you know what it was? Okay, here's what it was. I got it figured out. There's probably a cycle time where there's a cache or something that needs, well, that doesn't seem logical either. Does a function have a cache? I mean, I was literally calling it from, I don't know what code does. I don't know what the execute does here though. I assume this is just executing the HTTP call against the endpoint, since it's just an HTTP handler Azure function, right? That seems logical. It doesn't seem like it should be doing anything else. So it seems like it should have updated immediately, but maybe there was still something that just wasn't updated. Whatever the case, we're gonna keep rolling because got stuff to do here. All right, so let's figure out how to add. Well, first off, it's important to note. So we know that the old style, doing it via Visual Studio Code, does still work. So we have that operable. And what we want to do is, what I want to do is have the ability to deploy this via the CLI. So we're halfway there with the Azure CLI. But what we need to do here is make sure that it's a Linux OS. So I think if I do this, and then just throw in help, storage account, basic, create a function app, Oh, there, OS type. That's where we need to change this. So let's do this. And I'm just gonna put it right, let's see here, we'll do the resource group, and then the consumption plan, location, then runtime is custom. Oh, and then let's put it in here. It seems like a good spot for it. So we'll do that. And then, oh yeah, do we want to do, I don't know what it'll do for overwriting. So there's the command, ready to go. Expect it. Oh, I didn't put the. That was dumb, Adrian. Let's go back over here and actually add the OS type, which should be, I believe, just Linux, like that, because it's Windows or Linux. I don't think anybody would deploy a function to Mac OS. That seems incredulously insane. Burger has it not reached the individual Pixie report? You are spot on. That is the question, right? That's the core of the question. And hey, we just got a deployment too. Also, welcome to the stream, along with everybody else. Thanks for joining me today. I hope y'all follow. I'm doing this all the time. I'm going to be doing it more and more in the coming weeks. You know, cloud deployments, code slinging, all that kind of stuff. And a little bit of metal here and there. You know, sometimes I talk about it, but most of the time, so far on stream, I'm just coding all the time and doing deployments and shit. So, you know me as, oh, J Meow Meow. Did you lose your Twitch handle, or just have to pick a new Twitch handle? And also, in that sense, hello, Jeff. Welcome to the stream. I hope that side of the neighborhood is doing all right. It's nice and sunny over here. Oh, yak shaving distraction disorder. I just looked at your Twitter. Yes, exactly. So I just deployed that one. Let's go verify that it's actually deployed what I have attempted to make it deployed. Make it deploy. I think in this one, and then this should say, yeah, okay, there are our Linux operating system. So it does just deploy over the previous one with no prompt, unlike the VS Code bit, which gives you a prompt. So far, knock on wood, this seems like it's going to be pretty easy. But yeah, I just said that, so I'm sure I jinxed myself now. This is going to become infinitely harder now. Oh yeah. Oh, I got to get some AeroPress filters. Speaking of that, I got to get some AeroPress filters. I got some coffee. But I need filters. I don't have any filters. Literally, give me just a second. I'm gonna give a shout out here for all 6 of us watching. That's my tin. That's my tin that's been holding me down during the pandemic and all. Keeping me alive, keeping me caffeinated, all that good stuff. It's pretty cool. Even though I don't know why I have, oh shit, I dropped beans on the ground. I don't know why I have this blend written on it. This is like 20 blends ago from 2019. But I was going to show you my wonderful coffee beans. Absolutely delicious. Yum, yum. But these cans, if you haven't gotten one from, Coffee Works, pick one up. Because they got the little, keeps them dry, right? Keeps the moisture out. And the way it fits in with the top, keeps the beans in good shape for an extended period of time. And, oh, shit. I must have dropped like 50 beans in that one split second. Well, anyway, the important thing is that, got some coffee and all. So back to the topic. Oh, nice. You got to add a Developer Academy mug. Is that from the school or from the... I lose track. There's so many Adas out there. Also, hello, Paul. How you doing? You back in SD, San Diego, down yonder ways. Yeah, so there's Ada's Bookshop, which is a technical bookshop here in Seattle, right? Up on 15th, which I feel like I need to check in on them and see how they're doing amidst all this craziness. Haven't been up there in obviously a year or so. And then there's Ada's Restaurant, which is also named after the same person, same namesake, right? Oh, Addie Khan, huh? Cool. Yeah, and then there's another Ada's around here I'm trying to think of that's also named, same namesake, same person, right? But lots of props, rock and roll on the code front. So let's see, what was I doing? Back to what I was into. Just had to take a little deviant tour there. So I have the function deployed to Linux, or I don't have the function deployed actually. I just created the function. The function needs deployed now. So the way to do that would be to not do that because that's where you go push the button. So this would be publish app name. Invoke it by making an HTTP request, the URL. No. To an Azure storage queue. Oh, this is not going to be very easy. What is it doing? How does it pick what? But truncated for simplicity. Func Azure function app publish. Okay, so if I do that though, let's go look at the command. This is definitely an RTFM scenario. Like if you're using Go, you are definitely going to RTFM it. Oh, that would answer my question there. Use the publish local setting option to automatically create app settings in your function app based on the values in the local.settings.json file, which for me is, let's see here. Wait, local dot, where is it? Oh, there it is. Custom Azure Web Job Storage. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Encrypted. No, it doesn't even matter. This can be controlled by using no build option. Disable this the deployment package to display. Disable this recommended use the no zip option. Java uses Maven. What you can do, Functions also lets you define your functions project to run in a Docker container. Wait, so if I'm, hold on, that just blew my mind. This blew my mind massively. So wait, if I have a Kubernetes cluster and I have a container running in a Kubernetes cluster, why would I deploy an Azure function to it? Why would I not just deploy? Oh, because I guess the Azure function infrastructure would manage the ingress. Would that happen? I'm not sure. To learn to publish custom container to Azure without Kubernetes, see create a function on Linux using container cluster. I guess what blows my mind here is why. This is serverless. It's supposed to be easier, right? I think that's the premise, if I understand it correctly. So I don't really want to think about the underlying infrastructure. I already think about the fact that I'm deploying to Linux in this particular sense. And I feel like I ought to switch from Go to another stack that doesn't require me to go through these steps. It's just a little bit more straightforward, right? Sorry, I had to sweep some coffee beans out of the way. They were grinding under my foot. Yeah, so, oh God, that's twisted. Now I'm having a real introspective moment here. There seems like there's a lot of conflicts. Yeah, I think Node is definitely an easier stack to build for this. And I assume too, since there's, if we're looking at the docs here, right, and we go look over here, the quick starts, like I did this, which is like the other custom hack, right? But it shows you how to do it through Visual Studio Code. So it's taking care of some things and not particularly showing you the steps of what is happening. Now I assume that I can still go through the CLI and get these pieces running if I were to want to do that. So you could definitely get Go running. But like if I click on C#, right, same type of stuff goes through here. Visual Studio Code knows what to do. But under the command line, if I wanted to automate it, I go click on C#, like all of this is kind of like in play already, right where you need it. So yeah, like it shows you, you know, how to pick this stuff. Same thing, you init the project, blah, blah, blah. You go through that. I'm feeling like maybe what I need to do is probably just use one of the more supported languages like Java, JavaScript, or C#, maybe even Python or TypeScript, and write it out, right? So here's this. This is that Hello World program as a public static async function method. Is that what you would call it in C#? Because it's a method in C#, but it's static async, so it's a static method, or is it a static function on a static class? Ooh, things get tricky in C#. There's a lot of context that you would need to really realize what it's doing, or to not know what it's doing in the certain cases. Right, for Azure, Go comes out of Google. It's boosted by Docker, so we're a little far from utility computing. Different platforms are different, right? Well, I mean, like Go as a function, I think Azure did that before anybody else, didn't they? I know they were there before AWS. I don't know if AWS Lambda does that or not. I don't know. I have to... yeah, so... well, App Engine, Google App Engine isn't even really a function like this, right? I mean, it's not functions as a service or Lambda as a service, whatever they've called it. It's just compute, right? It's compute processing. And it's supposed to be simplifying it from a serverless perspective. Compute processing from a serverless perspective. I don't know how much easier it is. It seems honestly, well, okay, I can't say that. I have to think through more from a person's viewpoint who's just starting. Because from my viewpoint, this seems like not a path of least resistance. I mean, I think I would use a function for tertiary reasonings besides simplicity or anything, right? I would use it maybe for the pricing model, right? Because I only want it to do certain, I only want to pay for certain function calls or whatever. But from a simple context, like I would probably just, like if I was going to write up an API server or deploy an API server and get it deployed to Azure, like if I already had the API server running, or you know something that's going to be running, like say the Hasura API, right, which I'm using all the time. Like what I would do there is deploy it as either a container instance, like ACI in Azure, or I would even, like if I had an entire Kubernetes deployment that I was working with and I was, you know, in there kube cuddling and stuff, I would still take a container then, in that case, still, and deploy the API server that way, and then set up ingress and whatever else needed to be set up to get to that. This function seems to streamline the ingress a little bit because like it's already exposing whatever the VNet to access this, but like, I don't know, there's not a lot of visibility from this vantage point about where what is being exposed. I have to look at so much more to really grok what is happening in that space. I would be hesitant to tell like a new dev team that are inexperienced with dealing with VNet or anything else like that to just dive in and create one of these and then have like weird stuff exposed and they aren't quite sure what they do or don't have exposed. Like you definitely would want to do some prototyping around it before you just whimsically used functions, because it kind of sugarcoats some of that stuff and doesn't make you figure out what your security paradigm is. But then, of course, who thinks about security, right? Nobody does that. They just build shit and deploy it. And then everything works until your stuff gets hacked, and then you deal with it then. But Yeah, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I'm glad I decided to delve into this over the last few days. But what I think I'm going to do is, yeah, I think I'm going to head down this path and do the C# thing just because I can do it from this perspective, either C# or JavaScript. Right, so if I look at the JavaScript one, hey Anthony, how you doing? Yeah, there's 2 codes per version. I don't want to look at that. I just want to do the CLI. Because my idea, here's my overall idea. I'll tell you the bigger picture thing, right? So, what I want to do is have this function called to a backend and act as my backend, as if it were the thing that I was actually using to handle inbound calls for whatever reason. So, and this is just for this example that I want to prove out. It's set up as a prototype for reference use, etc. So I want to have the function actually call to my GraphQL server on the back end. And I've been thinking about it, and what I might do is actually, I'm going to deploy a Hasura API, but also have a function provide some tertiary GraphQL endpoint that then will funnel through the Hasura API. So that's another thing where it would be sitting kind of at the same plane of existence within the architecture. And if I do that, that'll be pretty cool because there'd still be the Hasura API where you can manage it all, but then you'll have functions doing these other calls out to other tertiary systems that aren't managed under the Hasura API itself, right? In the sense that, not managed in the sense of like connected to that particular database. So like it could be off in La La Land, wherever, and the function handles going out and getting that stuff whenever you make that call. And it can be seen under the Hasura API, though, it called just like a GraphQL call. That's one of my ideas. I feel like I probably should have read a little bit more about making function calls that aren't particularly called from HTTP. However, if I make it a GraphQL call, it'll easily nest under the Hasura API gateway. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Now it's just a matter of doing it. Now that I've said that out loud. I might have to take a lunch and then come back to this. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, I haven't used C# in a long time, so I might use C# just because. And then we'll make the calls we'll do the first test calls with Postman. Okay, the tool here, this bit, right? So we can just make the calls like this from the client side, and that'll act as our client side app. I was going to build a Blazor app, but I don't think I'm going to get that done between now and tomorrow. So in the interim for tomorrow, what I want to do is build this out so that I can make Postman calls to the deployed Hasura API that I'm going to deploy here in just a little bit. And then, oh dear, yeah, so many conclusions here. So many conclusions. And then from that point, that'll be calls to the Hasura API, which will then make the calls to the Azure Function endpoint. And we should be able to get all that. I think I can get that done this evening. And that'll be our wrap up for tomorrow's summary 2, where we'll delve through just in a clean hour on the Hasura HQ channel, if you want to watch that. So go follow Hasura HQ also here on Twitch. But yeah, so on that'll provide a perfect end-to-end example of where the client would be making a call to GraphQL endpoints. We'd have an Azure function. We'd also have the Hasura API working in conjunction with each other in Azure, deployed via Terraform, maybe. I don't know if I can get, well, the bulk of it will be deployed via Terraform. I don't know if I'll be able to get the Azure Functions deployed via Terraform. I haven't even researched that. But what I'm going to do is eat some food, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start a new stream here in just a little while, and I'm going to get the bulk of that done. And it may be 1, maybe 2 more streams today. So I think at least in this session, what I've done is get an architecture figured out for us. So hopefully I will catch all of you a little later. If you don't follow, do follow. Go get that done. and I will catch everybody later. You'll get notifications when I go back live. In the meantime, I'm going to go get some food. Everybody have a kick-ass day, and I'll see you in just a little while. Keep thrashing.